Hi, students. I hope you're doing well today. This week, we are jumping into our cause and effect rough draft. And I went over all of your outlines last week, and I want to preface this conversation by saying this. There's several ways that you can really unpack a cause and effect essay. Um, there's a couple different structures that are typically used. There's what's called a chain structure, and there's what's called a block structure. However, I find that students really find it challenging to try to focus on both cause and effects. So, the way that we are writing our specific essay is more of an argumentative style where you are only focusing on the causes or only focusing on the effects. I'm hopeful that this will enable you to stay more organized. And I really want you just to focus on one of those ideas since this is a shorter essay. So, I want to show you an example outline for my own example in hopes that this will kind of show you how to organize your various topics. Now, one thing I want you to know is this week when you submit your drafts, I am only going to be looking at your introductions as well as one body paragraph. What I would like you to do this week is to highlight the body paragraph that you want me to review. You can highlight just the first sentence, and that will suffice for me to know which body paragraph is important to you. So, in my cause and effect outline example, I am really focusing on the causes. Okay. The way that I'm framing this essay is to consider the things that I have to do in order to be um, effective intentionally in the world. So, if you look here at the introduction section and we look at my hook, it says, in a world of cell phones, easy entertainment, and a multitude of applications that are vying for our attention, living with intentionality is a rare trait in any person. And then for the background information, guys, just to reiterate, the background information is what connects your hook to your thesis statement. It's kind of just that lead in to help readers kind of understand where you're going. So for mine, I put, when I consider the life that I'm living, the people in my life are what matters the most. It's important that I take advantage of the limited time that I've been given. This should be given, excuse me, to show them that they mean something to me. And in turn, their lives will be affected in a positive way. They will feel seen, heard, and loved. And then here's my thesis statement: living intentionally will force me to make certain choices that look different than many others. Choosing intentionality, okay, that's the effect, will cause me to create a schedule for myself that helps me manage my time, put timers on my phone to limit my screen time, and check in with the people around me to ask them what being in the moment looks like to them. So, what I want you to see is very clearly here we have the effect, okay? And then we also have three causes. Now, you might have four, you might have five. Any more than five, you're probably stretching yourself too thin and you're not going to be able to unpack those ideas as intentionally as you want to um, and as developed as you want to. So then if you look at my topic sentences, creating a schedule will enhance my time management skills. So I'm not giving time to areas in my life that are not important. Okay. And guys, so if that's my topic sentence, the way that I'm going to unpack that for me personally, I'm going to talk about what that looks like. That it's very easy to simply get distracted and go through my day. And by the time I look up, 6 or 7 hours has already gone by. So maybe for me, what that looks like is saying, okay, I'm only going to work until 3 o'clock. I'm not going to check email. I'm not going to create meetings after 3 o'clock with students. Instead, I'm going to give that time. to my family. For the second topic, limiting my screen time with specific timers will cause me to live my life rather than scrolling through the lives of other people. So, what I would go into there is that social media, that Facebook, that Instagram, is it's a real distraction, and we can be having fun and doing something that we enjoy, and then all of a sudden we get distracted by looking at what other people are doing, and instead of living in our own moment and living in our own goodness, we're distracted by looking at the lives of other people. So that's a cause. And then finally, asking people I love how they want to spend time together enables me to be intentional in ways that others feel loved, knowing this looks different for everyone. Um, v- what I would unpack here is, being intentional with other people means asking my husband what that looks like for him, because maybe for him that's going on a date. But for my daughter, that's going to look different. Maybe it's sitting down after dinner and reading a book specifically with her and carving out time that's special for her. What I want you to see here is I'm very cause focused. Okay. All of these are causes, these are the ways that I am going to, in fact, be able to be intentional. This is my plan, my action plan to be able to be intentional with my life. And then my restatement of thesis: in a world that is fighting for my attention, I want to be effective in my intentionality through creating a meaningful schedule, taking back precious time that my phone has taken away, and ensuring the people around me feel loved, heard, and loved. So, again, what I want you to see here is that the way that I'm formatting this essay is it is very focused on what is going to cause me to get there. If the effect I want to have on the people around me is intentionality, what's the roadmap? How am I going to reach that place? And guys, in the same way, let's pretend instead that what I wanted to do was see how effective intentionality was. Okay. If I'm choosing to be intentional, then what effect is that going to have? And you saw in the previous video from last week, that's what I did instead. And my topic sentence then became, well, it's going to affect my children. And this is how it's going to affect my marriage. And this is how it's going to affect my community. And this is how. It does not matter how you frame your essay. What matters, and I can't stress this enough, your thesis statement and your topic sentences, those are your roadmaps. That's how you get your reader to the idea that you're trying to convey. So this week, as you look at that feedback on your own outline, I want you to ask yourself, where did I go wrong here, and what do I need to change in order to have a successful rough draft this week. I look forward to reading your drafts. Don't hesitate to reach out if you want to create a meeting and talk through some of these issues or some of the ways that you plan to unpack your essay.